Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Moeed Pirzada to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Moeed Pirzada's words.
I have before me some very important developments related to Pakistan, Afghanistan, India and Mashrista. For instance, it seems that Sohail Afridi, who was nominated by Imran Khan as Chief Minister of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, is facing opposition from the entire Chaudhry Nizamuddin system, which is now in action to block his way. On the other hand, we see that the Pakistan Air Force has carried out an airstrike inside Kabul, Afghanistan, at a time when Afghanistan's Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi is in Delhi, India, on a multi-day visit. It is claimed that in this attack, a very important leader of the TTP, or Tehrik-i-Taliban Pakistan, was killed. Meanwhile, the good news from Mashrista is that after the Israeli cabinet's meeting, the Israeli government has officially ordered a ceasefire. However, many doubts remain about this. The leader of Pakistan's Jamaat-e-Islami, Mr. Seta Mushtaq Ahmed Khan, who had decided to leave Jamaat-e-Islami, gave a very significant interview on Pakistan's prominent television. He spoke with anchor person Mr. Hamid Mir. I want to walk you through all these developments and their quick analysis, but before doing so, I'd like to share a small but interesting story. The story is something like this. A long time ago, when the Pakistani rupee had significant value and the situation wasn't as bad as it is now, a person went to a confectioner in Old Lahore and asked him to put 5 rupees worth of ladoos on a golden-coloured tray. The confectioner did so. He then asked for 5 or 10 rupees worth of gulab jamuns, which were also placed on the tray. Then he asked for pedas, which were added too. Afterward, he requested 10 rupees worth of barfi, which the confectioner also placed on the tray. He then asked for some shiravera, that's special milk, and it was added as well. After everything was mixed, he asked, "Give me one of these." This story from Old Lahore I relate to all the people who repeatedly comment on YouTube videos asking for shorter videos, 12 minutes, 13 minutes or 14 minutes. Well, if you want to watch only a 14-minute video, you can stop after that. But the reality is that very few people watch an entire video. I have seen that a large portion of the audience stops watching after a while. The YouTube statistics worldwide show that 30 to 60% of videos are watched, and very few get watched over 60%. Most good videos get around 50 to 55% views. On this YouTube channel, an average of 55% of the video is watched, but sometimes it's higher, thanks to the affection and support of my viewers who are always waiting for my content. Now, moving to the developments, as I had expressed earlier last week, the nomination of Sohail Afridi by Imran Khan, while removing Ali and Ali Mohammed Gandapur, is a major decision. It's a bold decision, but also a very challenging one. The future stages and the results of this decision can't be predicted easily. One of the biggest challenges is whether Sohail Afridi will even be allowed to take the oath as Chief Minister of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. The reactions from within the system have shown that the Chaudhry Nizamuddin faction is actively working to prevent Sohail Afridi from becoming the Chief Minister. For instance, Atta Tarar held a press conference and accused him of being a terrorist. They also claim that Imran Khan is also a terrorist, and that Sohail Afridi is being appointed to promote terrorism. This position taken by Atta Tarar, along with the overall reactions from the system, clearly shows the efforts to block Afridi's nomination. It becomes evident that the system is working hard to prevent him from becoming Chief Minister. This situation has raised questions about the eventual outcome of this conflict. Regarding the military aspect, General Asim Munir, the army chief, is reported to have said during a funeral ceremony for soldiers that the individual nominated by Imran Khan should not be allowed to become the Chief Minister of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa under any circumstances. This message was conveyed by multiple sources, including Barrister Shehzad Akbar. Now, although we can't confirm 100% whether the army chief truly said this, we can observe the reactions and political moves in the coming days that will clarify this matter. In the current situation, despite the press conference by Atta Tara, the situation remains clear. The system is determined to prevent Sohail Afridi from becoming the chief minister, and this move by Imran Khan appears to be part of a larger political strategy. I also discussed this matter with barrister Shehzad Akbar, and he provided some insightful perspectives on the situation. Imran Khan is not a naive person. He is fully aware that the system will use all its power to prevent Afridi from taking office. Imran Khan has already factored this into his plans, preparing for the failure of this attempt. Why? Because he knows that a government with Afridi as chief minister would not be able to carry out military operations, drone strikes, or eliminate the popularity of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, or PTI, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. If Chaudhry Nizamuddin's group wants to form a forward bloc with different political parties or within PTI to have their own chief minister, they will fail because it will not be the chief minister of Imran Khan or PTI. The situation here can be compared to the tactics used by the Republican Party in the United States to prevent the Democrats from governing. For example, using the Supreme Court, Congress and filibusters, they have attempted to obstruct governance. Similarly, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, although PTI is in power, it is unable to govern effectively. Imran Khan wants to change this situation. In the coming days, we will find out whether General Asim Munir's actions truly reflect his stance on Sohail Afridi's nomination. We will also see how the overall political dynamics unfold in Pakistan. The sacrifices of soldiers and officers in the ongoing war against terrorism are sincere, but the overall political paradigm suggests that these sacrifices are not yielding the desired results for Pakistan. As I mentioned earlier, I have been following the situation for a long time, and I continue to believe that the war in tribal areas since 2004 has not resulted in any positive outcome for Pakistan. Over 100,000 people have died in this conflict, including thousands of officers, soldiers, paramilitary forces and police. It is clear that this war will not produce any results, but the political elite and generals, aware of this, continue to push the war forward to serve their political interests. Lastly, the bombing of Kabul by Pakistan's Air Force, while Afghanistan's Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi is in Delhi, is a significant development. It is claimed that Noor Wali Mehsud, a key TTP leader, was killed in this attack. This highlights the ongoing tensions in the region. So far, they have not officially confirmed anything. They said, "We are investigating." But there are websites related to Pakistan, and on some international websites there are a lot of details about how Noor Wali Mahsood lived in Karachi and was a leader of TTP, or Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, between Pakistan and Afghanistan. This is being presented as a major success for Pakistan. Indeed, it is a success. The problem is that every time a terrorist like this is killed, on our side, we claim that this was a very big target. An important person has been eliminated, and after hearing that, many times I felt, well, I was a bit immature at the time. But when I wasn't mature, back in my youth, I thought that we had indeed achieved something very significant, and that the days ahead would be much better. And I have mentioned in many of my vlogs that whenever we are given figures like 19 terrorists killed, or 20 terrorists killed, or 14 terrorists killed, these figures would matter if the total number is 300, 400, or 500. Here, the population is growing, and there's never any real result to show for it. That's why I believe Imran Khan was 100% right. Time has, repeatedly proven that his vision and understanding of this war were absolutely correct. Imran Khan said that the solution to this problem lies in involving three key stakeholders. Firstly, the people of Pakistan's tribal areas. Secondly, the Taliban government of Afghanistan. And thirdly, the Afghan people. Until you involve these three stakeholders and sit with them for negotiations, there can be no solution. Now, in the last 24 hours, Shahbaz Sharif and Pakistan's Defence Minister have made some very strong statements. They said, "We will pursue these terrorists wherever they are, and we will not spare them." In that speech, Pakistan's Defence Minister also made a very important revelation. You might be wondering, what was this important revelation? He said, 3 years ago when I went to Afghanistan, the situation between Pakistan and Afghanistan was very serious. A Pakistani defence minister should be in Afghanistan every month, and Afghanistan's defence minister and their officials should come to Pakistan every month. That's how engagement should happen. But the problem is, they don't want to resolve the issues. In the middle of this situation, former US Ambassador to Iraq, Afghanistan and the United Nations, Mr. Zalmay Khalilzad, whom many of you are probably very familiar with, made a controversial tweet that I also retweeted. I raised a question in my tweet about it. Zalmay Khalilzad accused Pakistan of supporting ISIS, or Islamic State, in his tweet. He said Pakistan is supporting ISIS against the Afghan Taliban and against the Baloch insurgents. This is a very strange claim. I raised a question in my tweet. How is this possible? Because Pakistan's military and intelligence, the ISI, have very close working relationships, on one hand with the American Central Command, and on the other hand with the CIA. How is it possible that Pakistan is supporting ISIS? Unless this is part of a larger regional game in which Western powers and intelligence agencies are using ISIS for a bigger purpose. You can see my tweet on this matter. I mentioned earlier that this is happening at a time when Afghanistan's Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi is sitting in Kabul, where he has been warmly received. Two key things to note here related to Narendra Modi. First, Narendra Modi had a detailed telephone conversation with Donald Trump, the President of the United States. Modi tweeted about it, mentioning how warmly they spoke about economic issues and trade. Second, this also gives us insight that the Indian delegation is currently in the US, working on significant progress regarding trade. There is another round of discussions happening to streamline matters. Additionally, the Indian government is also engaging with important Indians of American origin who hold significant positions, seeking their help to improve India's relations with the US. On another note, Narendra Modi also congratulated Israel's Prime Minister Naftali Bennett on the peace accord with Hamas in Egypt's Sharm el-Sheikh. Modi praised both the peace accord and the humanitarian aid being sent to Gaza. If Modi had stopped there, it would have been fine. But then he added two sentences that could have been avoided as they point towards Pakistan. He said, "India is with you in fighting terrorism in all forms and manifestations, wherever it may be. It is unacceptable." This is a direct reference to Pakistan, as India's focus in terrorism discussions is always aimed at Pakistan. Had Modi avoided mentioning this in relation to Hamas and Palestine, it would have been better. If he had just ended his statement earlier, India would have been in a stronger position globally. Seeing this, I can't help but think that Mahatma Gandhi, wherever he might be, must be crying bitterly in heaven, witnessing the current state of India's value system under Modi's government. But Gandhi is not the only one who might be crying. I'm sure Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, if he were to see the current situation in Pakistan, would also be crying bitterly. There's another person who I'm sure would also be crying, the founder of Jamaat-e-Islami, Maulana Abul Ala Maududi. Given the current situation of Jamaat-e-Islami in Pakistan, Maududi would also be weeping bitterly. And I believe that the cloudbursts in South Asia, especially over Pakistan and India, are the result of these leaders crying bitterly. When they cry, the floodgates open below. Senator Mushtaq Ahmad Khan, who recently returned from Jamaat-e-Islami, gave a very detailed interview with Hamid Mir. I believe Hamid Mir has never conducted such a historic interview before. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely watch it. He also revealed that he had resigned from Jamaat-e-Islami in September, stating that he had no issues with Jamaat-e-Islami, but his path had diverged. He now wants to work for human rights. He also mentioned that 80% of the people at his new organization, Floatla, were non-Muslims, Europeans. At this stage, I believe that Jamaat-e-Islami has completely lost its way. In a sense, it is now dead. If a new faction arises from it, like Mushtaq Ahmad Khan has done, and they call it Jamaat-e-Islami Hakiki, it would be better. I think Maulana Maududi's spirit would be very happy about this. As I mentioned earlier, Israel has declared a ceasefire, and it is being warmly received. But what troubled me was that when Donald Trump was asked about the two-state solution, he said, "I have no view on the two-state solution. Whatever agreement is made between the Palestinians, Hamas, and Israel, I will try to implement it and then see." For the first time in history, an American president has refused to discuss the two-state solution. This has been a cardinal principle of American foreign policy for the past 80 years. But what does this mean? It means that if the two-state solution isn't possible, then a one-state solution might be the only option. I've always been in favor of a one-state solution, especially after attending lectures by Professor Edward Said at Columbia University. He was always clear that a two-state solution wouldn't work. In fact, the two-state solution was imposed by Western colonial powers on Palestine, but historically there should have been one state where Jews, Palestinians, Muslims and Christians lived together democratically. This is a big issue, and I'll talk more about it later.
That wraps up our translation of Moeed Pirzada's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.